Welcome to the agenda with me, Lasha Kingsley in Douala, Cameroon. On today's edition of the program, we are discussing humanitarian works and the active participation of youths in the development of their communities. This evening, we are joined by Dr. Sama, who is, of course, a humanitarian, a young humanitarian who left all the way from Nigeria to come take part in a meeting which held in Yaoundé to discuss the development of the Ngokitunja division. He is a youth from Ngokitunja division of the northwest region of the country, precisely from Balikumba village. He is with me in the studio this evening to tell us what he has been doing for the development of his community and Cameroon at large. Stay with us as I'll be right back after the jingle. Dr. Sylveinus, thank you so much for joining me this evening on this other edition of the agenda. We are happy to have you.
A pleasure is mine, Mr. Lasha Kingsley. It's a privilege for me to be with you at this hour to discuss issues concerning me and my activities.
Maybe you could briefly tell us and our televiewers who are watching us at this time more about yourself before we dive into serious business.
Actually, I don't always find it funny to talk much about myself because if you want to talk about myself, it will not be pleasant in the ears of many. The only thing I know about myself is that I'm a ghetto boy who grew from Balikumbat, who had a vision of life and is working toward that direction because I believe that wherever you are coming from should not limit you. You have to think out of the box because if change must come, either from a family, or from a community, or from a nation, it must come through somebody. And I determine myself that whatever change that may come around or where I'm coming from, can come from me.
Okay, Doctor, you just coming in from Nigeria, and over the weekend you were in Yaoundé to take part in World Organizers' term Ngokitunja All Peace Conference that held in Yaoundé, and you were one of the keynote speakers at the said conference. Can you tell us a little bit about what actually happened in Yaoundé? As we all know, the northwest and southwest regions are plagued by conflict, the socio-political upheaval, and your region is in the spotlight of one of the zones that are no-go area when it comes to this war that many people have termed it senseless.
Yeah, actually, Mr. Lasha Kingsley, the problem is there. We cannot deny the fact that there, as you rightly said, political upheavals of diverse sources. The question is, what role can we play? Because all of us, we want peace. We talk peace. We talk love. We talk come together. It must not come from somebody must take part in it. So I thought better to bring in my own contribution. So I was not coming to be to be as a reference or to impose a system for peace to reign, but I would bring my own proposition. So as a son of the soil, I thought it better that this peace that we're clamoring for must be brought by people. So everybody must participate. So I came to bring my own participation.
Okay, and you are equally the founder of Sama and God Foundation. Why the choice of this name, Sama and God?
Why the choice of the name? First, Sama is me, and Sama is a Greek word, which has another meaning from the original meaning from where we are coming from. Sama means beautiful environment. Now, relating with God, to me, God is a standard. God, which is a morality, where we have to follow a pattern set aside to be directed. So, we human beings, I don't want to diminish or reduce human being in general, but at the same time, there are some people, whenever you work with them, either they come to destroy your vision or they come to delay it. So I decided to put in Sama and God Foundation so that whatever thing I'm doing, I should have that consciousness that my greatest partner is God. So I have to be right, you respect integrity, and equally you respect morality in whatever I'm doing.
Your organization is equally based in Nigeria. Why the choice of Nigeria as a young Cameroonian who want to develop his community, who had vision for his community? Why did you choose Nigeria, to be based in Nigeria?
Yeah, actually Nigeria was not a choice. My vision made me, or the position where I was when I want to start to exercise my vision was in Nigeria. And we are Africans. I don't want to limit myself to my country. We have to think global. We have to think Africa. So Nigeria is a place, like Cameroon too is a place. So a vision must start somewhere. So when it's the most important thing is not where the vision starts, it is where it can go. So it's as well as I could have started in Gambia or maybe in Ghana. There's no particular reason why it should have to be in Nigeria.
Yeah, so what motivated you into humanitarian works? Because statistics have revealed that over 90% of NGOs existing in Cameroon and Africa are fake, that what they say they are out there to do not conform with reality. So why did you choose humanitarian work at this age? You are very young, a very young Cameroonian. And of course, when people look at you and see what you are doing, they are tempted. So you have been quoted by many as saying that you do things that are bigger than their age. Why did you choose to go into humanitarian work at this very young age?
Yeah, actually, as you hear the name of my organization, Sama and God Foundation, the Bible tells us that why shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world and lose his own soul? And the soul here who becomes an artist figure, which means the you. So I said to myself, why shall it profit you if you amass all the wealth on earth and when you leave the world, nobody talks about you? Because we shall be remembered not by the big houses that we have or the big cars that we drive. We shall be remembered by the impact that we create in the life of people. So going for humanitarianism because of where I'm coming from. I told you that I'm a ghetto boy. I don't like to talk about myself. What I went through, I wish human beings could really understand what people are going through when they are not capable to handle their day by day. So when God gave me the opportunity to come out from that ghetto world where I can be different from before, I saw it, or I told myself that this is a possibility, this is an opportunity for me to show the society how society is supposed to look like. Because in our today's reality, people that are fortunate, materially fortunate, financially and otherwise, they think more about their selves, think more about their children and all those things. So me, I said to myself that I'm a child of the society. But whatever I am today, I was not brought up by somebody. I was not mentored by somebody. God and the society mentored me to where I am. So when it is but right that what we receive from the society, we should give it back to the society. So that is my own concept. Talking about NGOs who are not real, they present fictive. First, Sama God Foundation is a name, is a name of an organization. I don't solicit for funds. I don't apply for funds from I've never applied for funds from any organization. I've never solicited for funds from any individual to help carry my activities. So they are your personal resources? They are all my personal resources.
At this very young age?
Yes, they are my personal resources. I challenge anybody. Anybody can come and say the contrary. I have never a day solicited a fund from anybody to carry my activities. These are my personal resources. I am a healthcare provider. I practice medicine in Nigeria. So whatever I gain from it, I give it back to society. So you're a medical doctor? Yeah, I practice health. I'm a therapist, health therapist. Yes. Yes. So whatever thing I gain from it, I distribute to society. So it is far from imagining that my NGO can have maybe a vision of exploiting people, taking money from people and not doing the right thing. I don't solicit funds from anybody. Okay,
Doctor, this takes me to what I was about to ask you. You've been existing since 2017. That's for close to 5 years now. And I'm tempted to ask you, what are your achievements for these past 5 years that you've been existing? What concretely have you achieved?
Yeah, talking about my achievement, which is in line with assisting humanity, I've achieved a lot. My main areas of action, I'm always in orphanages, always in widows' homes, assisting students, transforming the society with my teachings, because the vision of my NGO is changing mentality, changing people, changing nations, and changing the world. So I've achieved so well in transforming mankind in many aspects, though I'm still on the way. I cannot conclude, because the only person who have achieved all is the dead person, and the only person who have not achieved anything is the dead person. So when you are seeing the course, you cannot jubilate that you have achieved it all. But as of now, I am not complaining. God is leading me accordingly, because me, I don't work based on pressure. Nobody come to me and solicit for help. Personally, I have revelation on my own because I'm open. Yes. I pray to God, God help me. Whoever that needs help, that comes from you. If you judge me fit, use me. So I am available spiritually. So as I'm directed, so I do. So if yes, that's how I operate. Somebody cannot pick me from his house and call me, Mr. Sama, I need help, I need no your own.
That's why I was about to ask you, have you ever faced a situation where somebody lied about their situation just to get, assistance from you?
Before you think of it, because as I said before, I don't work under any pressure. I don't work out of pity. Somebody don't sit in his room and come and tell me that he presents a point, because the spirit with whom I worked, which I believe that I'm guided by God, before you present a case to me, I will always have the revelation whether that your situation is genuine or not.
Yes.
So sometimes somebody may present me a situation where when I don't have that spiritual connectivity with it, I will just be reluctant. But another person will just, before he says it, I've already reacted, because the Lord God is guiding me toward that. Remember, Sama and God foundation. So I cannot allow. I believe that God cannot allow me to be misused or deceived by anybody. So that is why some people may feel like he's doing for others and he's not doing for others. Since I'm doing my thing not for people to appreciate, I'm doing my thing as an obligation, as a partnership that I have with God. So I don't have people's feeling about it matters less to me, because I walk with the Spirit.
Doctor, when you look at the way the youths, the young person in Cameroon today, act towards the development of his or her society, are you happy? Are you comfortable? And what is your message to these young people who are supposed, with the energy that they have, they are still very vibrant, strong? What is your message to most of them who are taking a path that is not bringing forth development into their society or community?
Mr. Lasha Kingsley, this is a very difficult question, but at the same time, I'll try and tell you what I think about it. First, I used to make fun by telling people that life is like a turning fan. When the fan is blowing, it blows. When it comes to you, you feel the freshness of the air.
the air coming from the fan.
Where it leaves you, you feel hot. That is to say that when we are young, energetic, we are still strong. It's like the fan is blowing on us. We have all the capacity. If you don't make use of the fan when it's still blowing on you, the fan will leave you. When it leaves you, you feel hot. That is to say that when you have the strength to do something now, you have to do it now. Because there will be a time you may not have that same strength. Sickness may come, OH may come, responsibility may come, that you may not have that same capacity to excel in some things. So about the youth, there's this concept that the youth have this concept that people must help them out.
That's just what I'm about to ask, that they think that they have not been given enough assistance to be able to excel. They tend to complain all the time.
The question is, if you are a human being You are a human being. I used to motivate myself with the scripture. Do not be contented with the things of this world, but be transformed by the renewals of your mind. When you are in an environment where you think that people must help you, you will wait and you wait for nobody. You have the capacity, you can start something. You can start something and you excel in that thing. It comes back to what, as you right said, people expect you to help them. Who are those who are expecting from? They are elite. They believe that elite must come and help them. But who is an elite in reality? An elite is somebody who is in doubt.
Many people think that elite is somebody who lives in Yaoundé or Douala.
that is not my own definition of elite.
So those who have money.
Yes.
When you are an elite when you are somebody from a particular community and you are well-to-do, you have money, when you come to the village, people praise you, they come with goats, you know, plantains, and then they come and sing praises to you. Then they are an elite.
No, the question is for which purpose? Somebody who has money and comes to the village occasionally, maybe especially the political elite.
Yes.
They come during that season to entice people with gifts and they receive gold. And these are politicians. These are not elite. Elite are those that have equality. You, Mr.
So
Lasha,
is there any age when you talk about elite? Is there any age mark? Because you think elite is somebody probably from 40, 50 years as an elite?
No, that is a wrong conception of elite. It has nothing to do with age. It has all to do with what you do for your society, for your community. You are a journalist. If you develop your journalism wall so well that you can impact 2-3 people from your community to follow that same trend, you are an elite, irrespective of whether you have money, you are rich or not. What can you bring in your community? Elite think about the next generation. Politicians think only about the next election. So you always see politicians in the village when the election is approaching. So they come and bring us salt, bring out 2,000 or 5,000. The question is, what happens after? Because are we going to use that salt forever? Why must it be only that during election season? That is a problem. So an elite is not someone who go to the community only doing because you want to get something. You have something in you, you can transform it. And I used to tell people, everybody has a gift. Everybody. If you can discover your gift, you work on your gift, transform your gift, make use of your gift to a point you can impact other youth of your community, definitely you are an elite. Because nobody will remember you for the big houses that you have, neither the cars that you drove, but people will remember you for the impact that you create in the life of others.
Which comes to this other issue that there are some people that they want to be kings alone in their community. They think that bringing up other young people to continue from where they will end, they will lose that privilege of being called the lone kings in their respective communities.
It's a point of complex. A success without a successor is a failure. If you do so well as an elite and you have all the ovations, but after you train nobody, you transfer what you had to nobody, you failed, even in your grave, will call you a failure. Thinking that if you impact somebody, you may lose that
privilege of being praised whenever you come to the village. Or
a candle can never lose its light because it lightens another candle. You cannot take candle and light another candle and this one goes off. That is to say that by elevating others, you equally elevate yourself. So it's a matter of those people are very egocentric. Everything for them, nothing for others.
So when you look at the elites nowadays, those who call themselves elites, when you look at what they are doing in their respective communities, can we say that they have failed? Can the young person or be proud of those elites today, or say, I'm proud of these elites who are from my community for what they have done?
We have individual analysis of things. You have to make a distinction between an elite and a politician. A politician can be an elite. That it depends on the activity, your activity in your community. The moment you think about your community only during political season, you are not an elite, you are a politician. But if you can think about your community, whether during election or not election, you are an elite. How many people in your community have you transformed? If elite, those that come to their community only during political season and give people 5,000, 10,000, I used to say that if you show us the way, we can produce enough 10,000 for ourselves. We can produce enough 5,000 for ourselves. We can buy enough salt for ourselves. So you come, show us the way, teach us how to catch the fish, and stop giving us fish.
That's exactly what you want to start doing. You are doing already.
Start doing. It depends on the vision. As for me, as I said before, I'm a ghetto boy. I know what it means to be in need. I know what it means not to be privileged. I know what it means to go through some type of things in life. That's the reason when I had the opportunity, I stretched for my hands because I have gone through what many other people are going through.
You must be very daring to do what you are doing. It should be recorded that you were one of the main sponsors of Back to School donations in Yaoundé that brought together elites from Gokutunja division. You were amongst one of the main sponsors.
Yeah, I count myself privileged to that. Many others, it was not a one-man show. Many people came in and it was a collective effort. So me, I don't want to claim that I was one of the main, though I was one of the main sponsors, but I don't want to claim that authority on it because it was not a one-man show. We came together and we make it to succeed. But the most important thing is not the donation. The most important thing is the message.
Yes.
What was the objective? The people that came, were they satisfied with the message? The elite who came, did they give the message to the right people? That is the point, because we have to create avenue. All the challenges, all the point we are having in our community is a point of lack of communication. Because there's an often saying that when your own dog in the house start barking at you, it means somebody somewhere is feeding your dog. The question is, why do you allow your dog to be hungry?
Or to be fed by
to be fed by other person. He was fed because you allow him to be hungry. Now, when he's being fed by another person, you have to first of all ask yourself what went wrong. When you now know if you want to go back and seduce your dog for you to start to feed him, it's not by brutalizing your dog. It's not by intimidating your dog. It's by trying to communicate with your dog, seduce your dog. It's to say that our elite failed in communicating with their population. That is the reason why somebody somewhere began to feed them. Because if our elite were in constant communication with their population, before the scenario of the amber or whatever came in, the population would have trusted the elite more than whosoever that is ignited or
but some of the things were committed by the dogs were fed by the elites as they are putting it, right?
Yes.
And some of the young people are abroad. They are also elites in their communities. But you clearly said the definition of an elite. Who is an elite, right away? And
the point is, what were they fed with? There's a question. If I'm your dog, and you are feeding me only with bones, somebody somewhere, and you are eating meat, flesh, and you are feeding me with bones, somebody begin to feed me with flesh. Do you think I will listen to you again? I cannot listen to you again. Somebody is feeding me more than the way you are feeding. But if you feed me with flesh, somebody wants to feed me with flesh, I will say I've been feeding on this thing. So I'll content myself with the flesh that my own elite, because I'm more close to. Those are I don't have particular problem with the diasporans who are doing whatever they are doing. My point is, what is the intention? Any type of transformation that you want to bring in a society by giving pains to people is no more transformation. The quest for Southern Cameroon liberation or whatever is an ideology.
Yes.
Ideology never dies. But how do we go about it? That is a question. Because at present, me as a person, I am not more afraid of I'm not worried about the amber scenario. Me, I'm afraid of what after the amber, what will happen after the amber scenario. Because you don't solve a problem by creating another problem. But the juncture where
people already have guns in their hands.
People have guns.
How are we going to recuperate or take back those guns?
That is the reason why I challenge our elite. I don't want to use the word politician, but I challenge our elite to go back to the community. communicate with their children.
But most of these, how would they communicate that the children you're talking about will adopt them, will take them away?
They have to create an avenue. That's the reason why they are elite. The Bible says the authority that men do have is given to them by God. And whatever thing God gives you is an office. And God does not give an empty office. An empty office is that office that you have where you don't have what it takes to run it. Or you don't have the capacity to run that office. If you have been chosen to be an elite, you must have that capacity. Allow yourself to be led by the person who chose you. The reason why they cannot have courage to, or they're having challenges, is because they have allowed their denizens hungry for long. There's a problem. So another person is feeding the dogs. So it's so difficult because I don't trust anymore. I've been hungry. You don't care about me. Now another person is feeding me and I'm feeling comfortable with it, and you want me to come back and die hungry, die of hunger with you. It'll be difficult. So the elite have to develop strategies. It's their responsibilities. Because if the elite were in constant contact with their communication, with their population, the population would not have been infiltrated.
So as a young man, what would you tell your age mates who have taken upon themselves, taking up arms against the government because of what we are saying here, that they were hungry, those that are in our communities that have decided to go into the bushes? What is your message to them?
Yeah, my message to them is that no matter what you do, there's no crime that cannot be forgiven. We have laid, I'm a youth too. Who knows? If not because maybe God removed me from wherever I was, I may have been one of the actors. I may have been one of the generals. It's possible. Yeah, it's possible. Because sometimes we don't fall into it. When you don't stand for something, you fall for everything. So many of my younger ones or my brothers, because they stood for nothing, or they were standing for nothing, that's why they fell for the opportunity, the one that came. So my advice to them is this: we cannot develop ourselves, we cannot elevate ourselves with war, with guns. I plead with them to drop the guns, not because they were intimidated by the government, but because we have to give peace a chance. Many of them that are in the bush, they don't feel comfortable. They are not comfortable where they are. Some truth must be spoken. And the elite have to assure them, when they come back, as I'm here equally, I'm equally assuring them that whoever drops the gun, honestly, and present a project that he wants to do for him to be brought back in society, me, I'm ready on my own capacity to assist him or her. I've been assisting many. It's important for you to know that there are so many, especially from my community, that have come out from the bush, though they did not go back to the DDR center. But I am in constant communication with them, and I even motivate, guide them, and many of them are well to do nowadays. I will not call names, but it's what has happened. Those that listen to me will know. I have been since the scenario started. I have been in the heart. It's important. Let me present you some things I've been doing behind the scene. I know the role I've played for peace to reign in my own village, Balikumbat. To an extent, I was threatened. I even lost some loved ones because of my constant attachment to the crisis, to make sure that it ends.
In your community? In
my community. I was even suspected to be an alliance with them. But I'm satisfied today that I succeeded in playing some role. Even if I rescue 3, 4, only 2 or 3 people, at least I rescue a life or lives. Because many of them now are well to do. I'm not here to advertise myself, but I know what I've done. And many of them should be listening to me as I'm talking. And they know it's the truth. So it means that it is possible. The problem is that what is the message you are passing to them? When you want to communicate with people who were angry with you, you don't talk with them like you still maintain that posture.
I'm the one who is up there.
I'm the one who is up there. You have to come back to yourself. Humility is what we call humility. So many of our elites are not humble. Or our politicians are not humble. What is humility? Power under control. You have the capacity not to communicate with this person, but because of humility, you come down here, so you forget about your office and you communicate with that person as a brother. You don't just communicate. We maintain that cap of I'm an elite, I'm a politician, I'm a parliamentarian, I'm a senator. No. Because it's that your posture of senator and parliamentarian that even led them to the where they are, because they feel like you have all what it takes, but you deny to assist them. So when you come into them, don't come with that cap of a politician or whatever. Come with them as human beings, as children of the community. That is not true. I'm not here to encourage the actions of my brothers. I am saying that is not the best way. We can come back. We have shown our grievances to the government. They have seen that we are not happy. We have 5 years is enough, 6 years. We have shown that we are not happy. The government, they are our parents. They have understood that their children are not happy. I believe that if we now drop our guns and we give them listening ears, I think they will do something better than before.
We are into the new school year, 2022-2023. Starting, and there are still schools in some areas that are not operating. The young people have taken all arms against the government. They say school will not go on in those communities.
I will sound a little bit contrary to what you are saying. I don't conclude that they take guns against the government. The more you take guns and you begin to martyr your own, it's not more against the government. It's against your own population. Because those that are suffering from these things are the masses. Majority of the politicians are in big cities. Those that are suffering are the mass, the village people. So our brothers are taking arms against their own people.
Against themselves.
Against themselves, not a politician. Because when you don't go to school, it's their children, it's their brothers are not going to attend school. Those people that they think that they are fighting, their children are not in the community. They are in Yaoundé attending big schools, some are being out of the country. So it does not affect them directly. So we have to try to organize our. I said the quest is an ideology. There's a pattern that we have to put in place, not a violent pattern. Because if the stopping the school aspect was a best strategy, maybe the independence would have come by now. There is no country in the world that have succeeded in gaining independence by depriving theirs from going to school. If you read all the crises, go to Ukraine now, as we are talking, schools are going. So why should we punish our own, thinking that we are punishing the government? I think that aspect is not a good one. The propagandists, my brothers that are in diaspora, they went to school. That's why they learn. That's why they discover some things, and they are now bringing in ideas. You cannot deprive your own from going to school because you want to define a cause.
We're gradually coming to the end of the program, Doctor. Your last words to the young Cameroonians who are listening or watching you at this moment. What is your last message to them?
My message to them is that everything is possible if you believe. Get up in the morning, define a cause, work a genuine cause, work by it, and always remember that whatever thing you do in this world, you'll be remembered for the impact that you create in the life of yours, not by your achievement. What achievement you let your focus be one. Let me transform my community.
Thank you, Dr. Sylveinus, for coming. It was a pleasure having you.
The pleasure is shared, Mr. Lasha. Thank you for receiving me at your podium.
Thank you.
You're welcome.